I recently quit my teaching job.
Let's break down the meaningful data.
I decided to dedicate my time to making content.
So let's look at life in reverse.
Starting from scratch is very hard.
Welcome back.
A few years ago, I deleted all my social media accounts.
Or getting out of shape.
This is kind of the short story of my struggles. Good, valuable content is very difficult to create from scratch. At age 41, I'm financially strapped and I have 3 children, so the odds are stacked against me, and the decision to quit my job was a very risky one. Teaching was a gratifying profession. It had psychological value, but providing for my children, it just wasn't going to do that ever. Some people might refer to this act as stepping out on faith, or basically the idea that I am creating art or creating content, and I know that it's possible that it will never go anywhere, or that no one will ever watch it, and I may never see a dime for it. But that is a sacrifice that I have to make. Reconciling my choice to leave a very steady and secure job such as teaching to go into an absolutely insecure profession such as entertainment or media creation came with a few thoughts. The first one was that I was no longer making a significant difference as a teacher. This may or may not be true, but I do believe that the education system is flawed and out of date and basically has become glorified babysitting. Teachers are treated like menial wage workers and disrespected constantly. Last spring, I had a conversation with a coworker that got into the realm of deep and existential, and both of us agreed that it didn't make sense to work a job if there was any chance that you would die and never see retirement. As dark as that sounds, this conversation may not have meant anything had the person not passed away suddenly a week later.
Check this out.
I believe in signs, and very shortly after my coworker's passing, I was right next to her house, and as I pulled past, a big turtle was in the middle of the road. People can say I'm superstitious or whatever, but I believe the turtle was a sign that I needed to slow down and reassess everything that I was doing. It was also around this time that I reconnected with someone from the past, and I fell in love. Before I reconnected with Heather, it felt like my life had been running on fumes, and it seemed like the only meaning in my life was my children. I was with the same woman for almost 20 years, and the relationship was always tumultuous. We had 3 kids and were married for almost 10 years when I started to see the writing on the wall and things were falling apart, so I left. When I left to complete uncertainty. I had nowhere to go, and there were only 2 things that I was sure of. One was was that I needed to keep working as a teacher, and the other was that I needed to keep seeing my children. Despite homelessness, I didn't miss a day of work. I disconnected from most of my family. There was hardly a person who wholly supported my decision to leave home. With the exception of my brother, everyone questioned my decision. I think this taught me a valuable lesson in trusting myself versus others. Of course, when I quit teaching, I wanted to seamlessly spend the same amount of time and effort that I used to use teaching and instructing kids on making content, but it's a different animal. So the first thing that I thought of was my major hobby, and that is fitness. So I just started making fitness videos.
I'm here at the Outer Banks for the next 3 workouts.
Hey everybody, self-care, fitness, wellness, and that's what we're talking about. Today we're going to talk about a lifestyle checklist.
The last few days have been very difficult. So
Hey you, welcome to day 4. I started by making videos of me running interval runs, and then I made videos about meditation. I had Heather help me make videos. We made videos where we talked about fitness and wellness, and I just continued to make them every day and push myself every day to make more health and wellness videos. Of course, like everything, when you start something, you have an idea that you think is a novel and brilliant idea, and sometimes you realize very shortly afterward that it maybe wasn't the strongest idea. So my first idea was F is for fitness. Had I done any research, I would have realized that there was already 50 to 100 channels named the very same thing. Turns out F is also for simple. Really though, this is a love story, a story of liberation.
value, I'm spinning my wheels. Maybe I'm not as much of an expert on this stuff as I should be. I'm just a person who exercises a lot, has for 10 years. Some of these experts that are online, they're really experts, but they've been doing it 4 or 5 years, and theirs is all book study. And then, you know, mine is like I go out and just, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm just like, I'm burnt.
But
There's no one watching. No one's gonna watch this.
Okay.
No one's gonna
Okay.
watch the next one. No one really gives a fuck.
okay.
No one cares. When I was on Instagram, no one honestly gives a fuck.
Okay.
No one wants to exercise. It's the
Guess
most
what?
boring, repetitive thing in the world.
Uh-huh.
So the channel is a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Hey.
It's a frustrating process. You see what she has to deal with, dealing with me. I have mental health struggles. I've had substance abuse struggles. I've had lots of struggles. I don't think I was ever really happy until I was with Heather. And that's why this story is profound. It has nothing to do with the awesome content that I'm making or any of that. Content creation may never make me rich or even make me a living wage, but creating art and using the skills that I have, that's liberating. It's changed my life. And even bigger than that, she's changed my life.